right, so let's jump into this real quick, man. Better Heisman story, Ashton Jeanty or Travis Hunter. So these are the two leading candidates for the Heisman Trophy. I don't normally this is a quarterback award, but like you said, Cam Ward has fallen off. Um, again, Carson Beck. I was definitely about to go Brock Vandagriff
Dylan
again.
Gabriel's up there.
He's up there, but he just doesn't. He's to me, he doesn't have a bunch of leap off the moment pages. Obviously,
Jalen
the Ohio
Milroe's
State
up
game.
there. 36
Yeah,
touchdowns, man. 36 touchdowns is
I think those. I think at the end of the day, yes, I think Jalen Milroe goes, Dylan Gabriel goes to New York. But to me, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to Genty or Hunter. And the reason I put better Heisman story is because I feel like sometimes that the writers are in search. They're writers, so they want to tell a story. So
yeah.
if you were a Heisman voter and you had to pick, who has the better story in your opinion, Ashton Genty or Travis Hunter?
Um, man, uh, whew, who has the better story? Um, I'm gonna go with Ashton Jeanty. I'm gonna go with Ashton
Mm.
Jeanty, and I believe, for me, the reason it is the better story is because we just found out who Ashton Jeanty was this year.
Fair?
So not only is he putting up like historical numbers, right? For Boise State. Is Boise State got a loss or are they undefeated?
They lost to Oregon.
Okay, they lost to Oregon,
That's the
right?
only loss.
And it was a good game, really good game, right?
It was a good game. Yes, yes. And
Yes.
he went crazy. He ran for like 200 something yards. Let me make sure I get that right. But I feel like he ran for like 200 something yards against Oregon, 3 touchdowns, something
Yeah,
crazy like that.
yeah. And so he we just found out who Ashton Jeanty is. He's averaging 7.5 yards a carry, 26 touchdowns, close to 2,000 yards if I'm not mistaken. It's the stats are so like, I mean, they're otherworldly. When you look back at the Derrick Henrys and the Mark Ingrams and the other running backs that have won this award before, if I'm not mistaken, these stats are even beyond the numbers that they put up. You know, and
Yep.
he's done it. He's had his best games against his best competition. We're not talking about stat padding with 4 touchdowns against FCS Southwest. So for that, I think the better story is Ashton Jeanty. It's a Boise State guy. He created his own buzz. You know what I mean? There's not a coach at Boise State. There's not a conference. There's not cameras on their press. There's not like he said, "Hey, come put your camera on me. Watch this." You know what I mean? And so I think Jeanty provides the better story. And I think that what you're realizing is, I do think these two are two of the most deserving Heisman candidates. But it really is. Everybody knows Heisman. There's a reason why Bo Nix and different guys had billboards in different things. Like it's a popularity, it's a branding type thing. And I think Travis Hunter has a little bit more help outside of his play on the field. His play on the field is incredible, but he has a little bit more help outside of his play on the field than Jeanty does.
So I think that it's close, right? I don't think there's a clear one way or the other in this story. However, I will say I think that the better story is Travis Hunter.
Okay.
I think you have a true Iron Man. This is a throwback. We're talking about Red Grange, right? We're talking about true two-way players who are playing both offense and defense. Shout out to the homie Los, who just happened to be ahead of his time, right? Travis Hunter catches a touchdown pass and has an interception in the same game. So he's not only is he affecting the game on both sides from a production standpoint, but he's also taking the ball away and also scoring touchdowns, right, for his team, making a true impact. And I think when you factor in the larger story of Colorado, of where they were last year, right? They won their first three, then they went 1-8. to close the season. They got shellacked by Nebraska. They lost to Kansas State, but in a new conference, in a space where I don't know what people expected from Dion and from Colorado, but they're contending for the Big 12 title. If they went out, they will play for the Big 12 title. I think when you look at his impact on both sides of the ball, he's one of the top two players on his team. To me, the better story is Ashton Jeanty. I'm sorry, is Travis Hunter. Who is, in your opinion, the better player this year?
That's that's definitely very, very tough. A guy like Travis Hunter who plays both sides of the ball, right? Whoa, what the my thing just went off. Am I still with you?
Yeah, I can still see you. You're still
Okay,
good.
cool. Yeah, I hadn't hit the mouse a minute, and so it went off. A guy like Travis Hunter who plays both sides of the ball, right? You have to ask yourself if he only devoted himself to one side of the ball, because he's not the best defensive back in the nation, and he's not the best wide receiver in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, he's not even, I think, top, 20 or 30 when it comes to interceptions and pass breakups. He does have 9 receiving touchdowns, but I mean, I think he's
actually keep going. I got something for you.
So statistically, he's not necessarily. I try to think back to Charles Woodson, and I think that Charles Woodson, if I'm not mistaken, was the best defensive back in the country who happened to play on offense at times. And when he got the ball, he got busy. He was a punt returner, kick returner. He got snaps on offense. Travis Hunter is playing full-time offense and full-time defense, And I think you have to come down and ask yourself, well, are we rewarding Heisman to like the best player in the country or the most impressive player in the country? Because Travis Hunter to me is the most impressive. To be able to perform at a top level in 2 positions and play the whole game is extremely impressive. Ashton Jeanty is clearly the best running back in the nation, and quite possibly clearly the best offensive weapon in the nation.
So I believe the Heisman Trophy is awarded to the most outstanding player that year. So with that being said, Ashton Jeanty has a chance to break Barry Sanders' all-time single season rushing record. Let me see. Oh boy, it said Barry Bonds. So let's just say he breaks that record. Is that enough to?
Oh, Ashton Jeanty would win my Heisman if he breaks that 30 how many years? 35, 40-year-old record.
Let's see. 2024. So we're talking 98. Yes, about 40 years. About 40 years.
The thing I don't buy into is the we haven't seen this before thing from Travis Hunter, right? There's a reason why we haven't seen this before, right? Because nobody tries it, right? Like coaches are not bringing a guy in and saying, I'm going to let you play offense and defense, right?
But he's that special though.
But I guarantee you there's other special guys who could have been competitive on offense and defense, but it's not like somebody says, I'm going to, he came from Jackson State?
Jackson State,
okay.
Yep.
Boom. Yep. Where he's obviously the best player in that whole conference, that whole absolutely everything. He has the leverage to say he can do whatever the heck he wants to. You know what I mean? And he was able to show that early on. And then he comes from a coach who, guess what, also played offense and defense in the NFL and baseball. So a coach that's going to easily be like, I mean, you go out there and show me you can do it, So I don't think that there's been multiple people who have done this and failed, and then Travis Hunter does it and succeeds, right? Whereas for 40 years, every running back in the nation has attempted to put up the stats in which Ashton Jeanty is putting up, and they fail.
Yeah. So I'm kind of spitballing here. I feel like Ashton Jeanty, I don't think he's not going to break the record. He's going to fall short. Because Barry Sanders went for 2,628 yards, which is unfreaking believable.
So he needs 700. He needs like 700 yards in like what, 2 games?
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna have to go for three bills in 2 games.
Well, let me tell you what. If he breaks Barry Sanders' record, he is the Heisman Trophy winner. So we can go ahead and solidify that now. Like if he goes in there and breaks that record, you won.
Yeah. So we'll see. So if you had to make a vote, if you had a vote, who would you vote for?
Because the word is outstanding, I'm gonna vote for Travis Hunter.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think for me, man, I think that I have to look at what Travis is doing on both sides of the ball. Like it's almost kind of the same argument you get in baseball where you have someone who is okay, do you give the award to Big Poppy? Right? Big Poppy, not he might play first base maybe 25 games a year, but he's a full-time DH or do you give it to I'm trying to think of somebody who might be or let's do this. Shohei Otani
And that's what I say.
versus
He's not Shohei Otani. Shohei Otani is 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases, and the Cy Young. Shohei Otani could win the Heisman just like Travis Hunter couldn't win the Heisman with his stats just as a defensive back or just a receiver.
yeah, but that's because we're prejudiced against defense, though.
But I'm saying he probably isn't even an All-American with just his stats from a receiver or a defensive back.
I mean, but nobody throws his way though, right? The reason his interceptions are highlight worthy, one is because he's making unbelievable plays. The one where he was in cover two, he breaks off his pattern and intercept full outstretch intercepts that like ridiculous. Um, but no, I think it's because people don't throw his way. I do think Travis Hunter is going to be first team All American at the end of the season. He's going to be first team All
Well,
American.
yeah, he will because they're giving him. I mean, defensive back,
Yeah, I think so. I think
not
so.
a wide receiver.
Not a wide receiver. Not a wide receiver. I think defensive back, he'll be first team. He's not test. People are afraid to throw his weight.
He's
He's
only got three
literally.
interceptions. I mean,
That's
you got
because
guys with 7, 6, 5.
but that's because they're not testing him. They're literally afraid to throw the ball his way. So shout out to Benjamin Morrison for Notre Dame. He's hurt. He's out for the season. Before the injury, he was going to be a first round pick. We'll see what happens. But like people were not throwing the ball to his side of the field. They weren't trying. It was just like, why? He's going to break it up. He might pick it up. Right? That's the same thing for Travis Hunter. People are not testing him because they don't want to have him make a play. So I think if I had to lean towards a person, I would probably go with Ashton. I'm sorry. Dang it, I keep maybe subconsciously I want to go with Ashton Jeanty because I keep saying his name, but I would lean towards Travis Hunter if I had a vote. Y'all let us know what y'all think, man. Who y'all got in this? Y'all got Travis Hunter, y'all got Ashton Jeanty. Let's go ahead and jump into the NFL real quick, man.